First, there's 2 Deathrite Shaman. Bob, what do you want? Some stupid number like 4 Deathrite Shaman? Do you even understand how unreasonable that is? So what we have here is an excellent Hearthstone hand and a terrible Magic hand. See, look how bad this Deathrite Shaman is. Can't even keep this hand. Alright, that's a keep. And bottom a non-blue land there, I think. Hey, Head Punter, thanks for the 2-month free subscription. I appreciate that. Welcome back. I cracked my window here a little bit. It's a little warm in my basement. It's like finally below 80 degrees outside. Maybe I'm supposed to keep that Savannah because it lets me green sun for Birds of Paradise. This Deathrite Shaman would be better as a Birds of Paradise right now. That is 10 out of 10 correct. Hey, look, they've cracked a fetch line for us. God bless you, opponent. God bless you. Yay, my Deathrite Shaman didn't die. If we draw a land that lets us cast Leovold, we're going to jam Leovold. That's gross. Since I throw a decent amount of money at you already, I might as well go up to tier 3. Thanks for the big sub, Tarmagoofy. I appreciate that. Welcome. Welcome back. Let me know what deck you want to throw in the queue. I appreciate you re-upping at that big level. Well, Noble doesn't make black mana, and this deck has black spells in it. I don't 100% know what they're doing yet. It's probably safe to throw this back. It's probably safe to throw... The Abrupt Decay might be useful. I guess if they're Delver, I'm going to want this to be useful. So I'm going to go ahead and throw this back, I think. We're definitely... I think we're green sunning here. I'm going to get a Trop. Do I want a green sun for 1? I kind of feel like I kind of feel obligated to use my mana this turn. I kind of feel obligated to use my mana this turn. Just like go fetch a Birds of Paradise. I kind of don't mind just going to get a Birds of Paradise, because that means I can guaranteed cast Leovold next turn. Or almost guaranteed. I don't mind playing this into a daze. If they want to daze this, that's fine, and they're not dazing one of these other things. It's going to be interesting to see if Atrax is ever relevant tonight. Whatever has a reasonable text box or not. Fatal Push, sure. That's good. It's one less push for Leovold here. Alright. I am just going to go ahead and jam this down their throat. We could get dazed, but like I said, I think if they're a dazed deck, we're going to get dazed at some point anyways. Fatal Push probably indicates they're less likely to be a dazed deck. I think this means they're more likely to be 4-color control. Delver and Daze variants don't usually play Fatal Push as their removal spell of choice. What's going on, little Marion? Welcome. I would love to use his ability. Thank you for asking. Man, Mom Leovold is kind of a hot combo. Nope. Same microphone. If you haven't watched for a little while, I've started streaming from my Linux partition again, so that definitely affects the audio, different drivers. I guess I'm just slamming this Revoker and naming Jace the Mind Sculptor. It's looking like they're 4-color mush. 4-color control. Yeah, we've got another sweet vintage deck tonight. So, should be a good one. It's got Saheeli Sun Titan combo in it. Uses Oath of Druids to flip them into play. I guess I'm just like attacking with this Phyrexian Revoker, and then after I get my Exalted Trigger, Pridemaging down the Strix, like I need to pressure them. Like we're definitely the aggro deck in this matchup. Yeah, both the images and just like being all in on the combo for the most part felt really good in that deck. Jat said he was going to throw his tier 3 sub at running that deck back, so I'm sure we'll see it again at some point in the near future. How do you subscribe using Prime? If you have to use it on you have to be on your desktop web browser, and at the top of the screen above the video player there's a subscribe button. If you click on that, you'll see a free button in there with the rest of the subscribe options. Alright, Birds of Paradise and Mother of Runes versus 5 cards in hand. This is completely reasonable and beatable, right? We have a chance? We have a chance here? We don't have a chance here. Alright, take 2. This is probably a Sanctum Prelate matchup, right? They definitely have way more 1-mana spells than we do. Pontiff is probably actually okay here because it's able to kill their Baleful Strixes. Maybe that's not good enough. This attacks through a lot of their stuff. I guess Tireless Tracker is great. That card grinds like no other. Hey, Lumberjack. Thanks a lot for the 2-month resubscription there. I appreciate that. Welcome back. This is probably a Thrun and Wilt-Leaf Liege matchup too, huh? These cards are probably great. There's a non-zero chance they have what's it called? They have the Lay on the Veil. And this obviously just like gives them the business. Scryb Ranger and Abrupt Decay both seem pretty mediocre here. So just Qasali Pridemage. Maybe this Phyrexian Revoker is supposed to come out too. Yeah, I don't know why they had so much downtime. I have no idea. It's real annoying to say the least. I think I'm gonna trim a bird here. Usually you trim some mana creatures against games that are gonna grind. At least that's the logic in Modern. This hand's gonna mulligan a lot of no-landers. Hey, Joe, thank you very much for the Twitch Prime. I'm glad you got that figured out. I appreciate the support. Welcome. I guess I'm keeping this. Sprite. I'm gonna bottom that for now. I think I'm gonna lead on Tundra here. This looks like a decent EDH deck, right? It does kind of look like a competitive EDH deck, and then you're like, oh wait, there's 4 Brainstorms and 4 Vials. Push my dork off a cliff here. Yep. No idea. They don't give us status updates. To become a more financially responsible person, spend less money than you make. That's... I don't know how to have advice other than that. That's the best way to be financially responsible. Spend less money than you make. I don't think we necessarily need 1 or 2 more. Like, we have 16 lands basically, and we have 5 mana creatures, and then we have 4 vials as well. It kind of let us cheat on mana. So I definitely see like we only have 16 lands plus Dryad Arbor, but like the reality of the situation is that like, which is what I'm searching for. The reality of the situation is that we have like 25 mana sources in our deck, so. Oh, I could have Aether Vialed the Dryad Arbor. That's funny. You're right. 10 out of 10 could have. And it's like strictly correct to do so, right? I didn't have another land there, unfortunately. But you're right, that's definitely something we could have done. Yep. I think I'm gonna end step this click, take a peek at their hand. Pretty content with all these cards in my hand, I think. No, we brainstormed back, what was it? It was Sanctum Prelate, Phyrexian Revoker. Well, they can't K command in response here. They could Fatal Push in response. I'd be kind of surprised if they Fatal Push this and didn't just, like, Fatal Push my Dryad Arbor. Snap Brainstorm, sure. So they're gonna hide cards they like here. What's going on, Crimson? Good evening. I still have Force in their deck. That's funny. I think I leave them both of these, right? And I'm just gonna like Sanctum Prelate and name 2 for this Abrupt Decay, I think. Maybe it depends on the deck. I never say yes or no without at least seeing the deck list. It's another white source. That's good for us. So I'm gonna put back Jitte plus Aether Vial here, and then I'm gonna go ahead and fetch up a white source and play Sanctum Prelate for 2. So their hand doesn't really do a whole lot here. I guess maybe keeping this was bad because they're going to need to hard cast their Force of Will on this. Or they're casting like a Jaceer. Liliana, the Last Hope. That's pretty good. That being said, I know the contents of their hand right now, and I'm going to get to Green Sun for Leovold here now, which is great. Yeah, so let's just... go ahead and Green Sun for Leovold. Their hand is Abrupt Decay, Force of Will, and then lands. So now if they want to plus on my dorks, they have to let me draw a card. Like I get to drop Atraxa in here at the end of on the next turn. Yep. I boarded my extra Prelates. I did. Yeah, Prelate seems pretty good here. If we put Prelate on 1 and 2, they'd probably have a pretty hard time winning. We can proliferate their Liliana. That's probably not what we want to do. You didn't miss much. It was really terrible. That's pretty good. So we're going to draw a couple of cards here. I assume they're going to Abrupt Decay Leovold as well. And then they'll Decay Leovold, and then they'll Liliana plus on my Dryad Arbor. Atraxas off this Vial might be good enough to pull us back into this game. Hopefully we hit a 3-drop here to violin. Remember when people were saying we needed more lands? Remember when chat thought we needed more lands? Yep, 9 a.m. 9 a.m. most weekdays. I would have been on at 9 a.m. this... I was on at 9 a.m. this morning, but we streamed some Hex instead of Magic since Moto servers were off. Leovold. That is kind of a Leovold. That gets a Fauna Shaman back, which is sweet. Fetch a black source with this. Scrub Bayou. And we know our opponent's last 2 cards at this point are Force plus land, I'm pretty sure. Oh, they just eat it with Deathrite Shaman. That's awkward. Womp womp. I knew that. Fuck. This card is so obnoxious. Do I just get a land to deny them? I guess I just get a land, because if they want to eat a land, it's fine. And they don't get to drain or gain this turn if they eat a land. And, like, the land gives us a shuffle for a brainstorm later. I wanted to put my 3-2 into play. At least I realized that they could Deathrite Shaman me before I clicked on the Fauna Shaman. Alright, so they have Force plus 1 card I don't know. I'm sure it's Fatal Push or Snapcaster, because that's how this night's been going. Oh, I should. Sorry. Yeah, usually the board doesn't get that wide. I should do that. Thanks. Sorry about that. Didn't realize I drug it over. It's a pretty good draw. Yeah, in general, I prefer streaming from the Linux side, Nivik. I believe I've sorted all the performance issues I was having. Not really haven't had any encoding overloads since I flipped back to here. This is like, I'm just baiting the Force of Will here. Like, they're gonna force something at some point, so it might as well be this Phyrexian Revoker, basically. I would like to not proliferate anything. Yep. It's a shame you can't proliferate things down. I wouldn't mind sending this Aether Vial back to 1. It'd be sweet if we could draw like Glenelendra, so either 4-drop off this file. I guess I'll cast this. Lets me put this Mother of Runes into play at end of turn. So, Atraxis, if they keep drawing bricks, will kill the Last Hope next turn, which is nice. We're holding this Misty Rainforest because there's still 2 copies of Brainstorm in our deck. Ponder's pretty good. Cards, he looks at a lot of cards. They also have a fetch land, so like if there's only 1 good card in this Ponder, they can draw the good card and then crack their fetch. It is a 4/4 flying lifelink Vigilant Death Touch. Just Keyword soup. All right. Good night. Good night, my sweet princess. Prince? Princess? I don't know. Hard to tell.
Not sure we can really determine in either direction.
I think we're pretty buried at this point. Our deck's just like doing similar things like what the opponent's deck is doing, but worse. We've got a bunch of cute stuff instead of like actually powerful cards. Yo, dog. I heard you like Green Sun. Alright, I'm gonna keep the Mother of Runes here. I guess I'm just gonna go get our other Lee of Old, right? Get an extra white source, save a bunch of double white cards in case they wasteland me. Alright. Just put my advisor into play here. We're actually playing advisor tribal this evening. We've got Leovold and we've got Leovold and what's it called? Leo and Teeg. So no blocks here when they attack. Anything else that's useful that's green? If you played Jeskai and Sensei Paper, I'm super awkward. I mean, it's just like everything in Magic, right? You just have to be super clear about what you're doing at all times. I've not played it in paper before, but like I understand the bookkeeping work that goes into it, and I'm good at communicating my board state. Yeah, we're gonna put Mother of Runes in at the end step, obviously. Return Snapcaster Mage to their own hand. Yeah, that's a good line. We do also have a tracker we can get. That is true. So they can snap push the mom here, but if they do that, we get to draw cards. I think I'm okay with that. I think that's an okay exchange for us. They're pretty obligated to snap push here, right? Like if we get mom active, it's just gonna like end up making us end up draw a bunch of cards with Leovold. I feel like they're pretty obligated to burn the Snapcaster Mage here. Or they could have another piece of removal too, I suppose. How many dollars is JAC in paper? I have no idea. I believe I found someone to borrow it from, though. I'm gonna snap decay. I wonder if they're killing Leo here. They might just be killing Leo, right? Yeah, that makes sense. Let's draw a Glenelendra off this trigger. Birds of Paradise is basically like Glenelendra Archmage, right? So tomorrow, a longish stream, trying to determine if donating a deck to the top 4 democracy points. Yeah, actually, tomorrow I'm probably going to go even longer than scheduled, I was thinking, because I'm going to end early because of the Pro Tour on Friday, so I'll probably go till 4:30 or 5, maybe even later than that tomorrow. At a minimum, I'm going to go till 4:30 tomorrow. So probably a 5 deck day or so. Sanctum Prelate's pretty good. Sanctum Prelate is pretty good. What do I have left to Green Sun for at this point? I'm out of Leovolds. I don't have an Eternal Witness. The no Eternal Witness in this deck is really sad. I feel like that could have potentially been really useful. I guess I can kill either of their planeswalkers here, right? Oh, I could get Thrun, huh? Yeah, Thrun probably, like, fucks their shit. That's actually a really good idea. Alright, I'm gonna give this pro blue and kill their last hope here, I think. Do I kill the last hope or do I kill the Jace the Mind Sculptor? That's actually kind of close. It's actually kind of close. You can't Green Sun for Pontiff. The problem is that the last hope is going to kill my Mother of Runes. Yeah, like, Mother of Runes is, like, kind of worth a lot here. And, like, Liliana guaranteed kills. I'm plenty awake. I actually took a nap this afternoon. I'm just not quite as loud as I often am during the day because the kids are asleep upstairs and my office or my workspace is, like, below where they sleep. People are going to suggest we Green Sun for non-green cards at multiple points this evening. It's going to happen a lot. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and get Thrun here, I think. Why don't you Green Sun for Brainstorm? Asking the real questions. Your move, Yugi boy. The problem here is that there's almost certainly toxic deluges in their deck, right? So, like, this isn't even that sacred at this point. I guess I shouldn't auto pass since I have these two vials. Ponder into Brainstorm. They get to see a couple of cards this turn. Couple, 2, 3. I assume Mom's gonna eat a fat one. I guess I could put Prelate on 3. Or we're gonna put Prelate on nothing. Got it. Check. I'm gonna concede to a Deluge this turn. I'm just not coming back from that. Morris Sith with the $30 donation. Thanks, bud. Pushing up Bomat Zoo. Enjoy getting to play some aggro. Thank you very much for the very generous support. Appreciate that. I'll get that applied to the queue this evening after I sign off. Well, this is 10 out of 10 at Deluge attack, right? So I'm just going to block, and then I'm going to concede when they cast Deluge. I guess it could be something weird like Pyroclasm. No, yeah, it's not a ton of Deluge with that Deathrite Shaman activation. Playing this deck kind of makes me sad a little bit because, like, the number of sweet cards in this deck that just, like, aren't quite Legacy playable because, like, there's so many powerful fucked up cards in Legacy is, like, it's really kind of sad. Like, Legacy could be such a sweet format if they just, like, knock out some of the really strong power level of cards. Like, one of the reasons why Modern's such a diverse format is because the power level of cards in the format is very similar. Whereas, like, in Legacy, we have so many of these cards that are just, like, so much better than everything else that, like, and the mana is so good that you can play almost all of the best cards in the same deck. So, like, the good fair decks all pretty much look the same because they can all play all of the best cards. Yeah, probably Nivik, like classic like Death Shadow, Team or Battle Rage, kill yourself type stuff, like before, like what the Death Shadow decks used to look like before Grixis Shadow. Yeah, and honestly, like, Deathrite Shaman is part of the reason why, like, they're able to play all of those cards, because, like, Deathrite Shaman allows you to play a bunch of colors and play more expensive cards without getting punished by Wasteland, because you get to play Birds of Paradise off your Underground Sea. Oh, it's definitely contributes to making those decks, like, really possible. 80, 90 expensive 2 cards. Yeah, and like Legacy's not quite in like a vintage bad where like, because like vintage, like everybody plays power obviously, right? Because like those cards are just like super busted, but like it's kind of homogenized into this place where there's enough overlap. We played a Legacy pod deck at one point. It's not good, believe it or not. Really slow and clunky. Legacy Q taking a bit to fire this evening. Hopefully Vintage doesn't take too long going second tonight. There are some... I have my window open. Are the noises from whatever crickets and birds outside bad? I can close the window near my desk and open the far one to get some air in. So, based on the idea that Brainstorm is a sacred cow that we could never ban, and based on the idea that fetch lands being banned is never going to happen. So, like, fetch lands and Brainstorms never being banned aside, because like you could ban fetch lands. Banning fetch lands would fix most of Legacy's problems, except for the fact that it would make the format too expensive to play, so like it would kill Legacy. So like from a format balancing perspective, I think banning fetch lands is what you want to do from a pure game design standpoint, but then like now everybody has to have 4 of every dual land, which makes it super cost prohibitive. So, like, that extreme aside, I would ban 3 cards in Legacy. I would ban Deathrite Shaman, I would ban Ponder, and I would ban Gitaxian Probe. Those would be the 3 cards I would kill. Those cards, banning that selection of cards allows people to still play their beloved Brainstorms and stuff like that, but it like kind of hacks down at that critical mass of really powerful cantrips, which would hurt the blue deck's consistency enough to allow non-blue decks to happen. I did miss a donation. I'm so terrible. Put it in a banned company deck for your choosing. If companies are a no-fly, proceed with any Just Kai ascendancy. Thanks for the good work and the golden rants. I dislike Worship. I dislike Worship too. If you watch us play, what was the Worship deck we played? We played Green White Counters Company. Anyway, thank you for the support, Marion. I'm fine with Band Company. I would never register Collected Company in an actual Magic tournament, but I think Collected Company is a fine card to play with when you're just having a good time. The format explanation of Legacy on Watsy's website says Legacy is a more accessible format because of the wider... To be fair, to set the bar exceedingly low, Legacy is definitely more accessible than Vintage. I think in a format with fetch lands, Brainstorm is definitely stronger than Ponder, but if you weren't listening, I prefixed my statement with, this is working off the base assumption that Brainstorm is a sacred cow that we're not allowed to ban, because R&D Forsyth at one point actually said those words. He said that Brainstorm, he compared Mishra's Workshop to Brainstorm and that it was a sacred cow. All right, so Reanimator. These cards all seem... This what the fuck does this do? I think this steals a creature, right? Gain control of target creature for as long as this, if it leaves, yeah. So that's actually pretty good. So I want this out, this out, this out. True-Name out. I guess I'm keeping that, like, in this, like, big, scary... I don't think it's unreasonable to, like, Magic is a game that people play for fun, so I think, like, letting people play with sweet Magic cards that they enjoy casting, like, I don't think anybody has, like, this emotional attachment to Ponder, but I do think people have this emotional attachment to Brainstorm, and I think it's okay to let people be, like, invested in, like, enjoying casting these cards. So from that perspective, I think leaving Brainstorm unbanned and just, like, banning the second best cantrip to hurt the consistency of those blue decks is fine. That being said, I don't know. I don't really expect them to do anything that drastic in Legacy. I would kind of be surprised if Deathrite Shaman lives to be legal for the Team Pro Tour that's coming up. So not this Pro Tour this weekend, but the Pro Tour, the Team Pro Tour and the Core Set Pro Tour. That's the next one. I think we'll probably see Deathrite Shaman eat it before that, because they would probably like to shake the format up and diversify it a bit before Legacy's played on their biggest stage. Three months. Yeah, what's going on, Greeny T? Thank you for the 3-month free subscription. A quarter of a year. Welcome back. Actually, I'm gonna throw my headphones on so I hear sub notifications. Like I missed the donation earlier too. That's bad. I mean, I guess I better keep this. It's turn 1 Aether Vial, turn 2 Meddling Mage. And yeah, fetch lands are to blame. Fetch lands are to blame for a lot of the issues. Like, not only do they make the mana super consistent to allow you to play all of the colors, but like they enable a lot of the problem cards, like Deathrite Shaman and nice Duress. Sweet card. Breeding Pool, thank you for the bits. Playing my favorite color, my favorite format, big green monsters. We're going to do our best here. We're going to try and greenstone with the best of them. What do I name with this Meddling Mage? Is it just Entomb? I feel like I'm supposed to name Entomb, right? Brainstorm is largely unplayable without fetch lands. That is correct. That is correct. And Ponder is much worse without fetch lands. Like, and when you Ponder, if you have to keep all 3 cards, the card gets much worse. I think it's just Entomb here. It's like their best way to get things in the bin. They showed us Basic Swamp last game, so there's a non-zero chance they're playing like the budget mono black build that's like has like Dark Rituals out Grave Titan as a backup plan. Can you iterate on your statement there, Marianne? Why do you feel fetch lands give what you're saying depth to the format? Like, what do they do that specifically adds depth to the format in your opinion? Because I actually think from like a deck building standpoint, I think fetch lands are really boring from a deck building standpoint, because fetch mana bases in Legacy are predictable and boring and easy to build with fetch lands, because it's very obvious what is optimal to be doing with your mana base and what is not optimal. So I think from a deck building standpoint, I think fetches are really terrible. Yeah, Hymn the Torok here means they're not red-black reanimator. It looks like they're probably playing mono-black. It probably makes Brainstorm pretty close to unplayable. It Ponder is almost certainly still fine. Details on the Discord are here. Ponder is worse, but still fine. Brainstorm probably wouldn't see much play. Alright, so we're going to Green Sun for 2 here. I'm not quite sure what I want to get, actually. Let's take a peek at our tools, shall we? I guess I'm just getting a Deathrite Shaman, huh? I didn't fetch a Black Source, though, which kind of sucks. Teeg doesn't really stop most of what they're doing. Anything that they're doing. I guess I'll just get a Shyamalan for now. I feel like Modern hadn't quite been established long enough for like Twin to be considered a sacred cow in Modern, like Brainstorm and Shops are considered sacred cows in their respective formats. So I'm definitely going to kick this vial up to 3 here. And then if we draw any creature, we can go get a 3-drop of our choice, which is nice. Probably going to leave this on 3. Yeah, I really don't want to cast a Teaglesworth. I mean, Liliana the Veil is also not like a very obnoxious card. It's just like a good card it's like a quality card. Yeah, I don't think Modern has any Sacred Cows. Modern's a pretty balanced format. Twin was banned to sell cards. I think that's kind of a tinfoil hat assessment of the situation. Bitter Blossom. That's something. The free mana in Modern is very, very obnoxious. How do you feel about just Spell Quellering this? I think I'm just going to Spell Queller this and just, like, beat them down. It's an interesting backup plan on their part. They probably, like, board out some of their graveyard stuff and, like, go like, turn into a fair deck. Reddit, I almost certainly exaggerated that. That's fine. I hit them dead in 2, so... Actually sure what this is getting. I might just get Clique here. Yeah, I'm just gonna put Clique into play and just like double check what they have going on. This is a fun engine, the Shaman plus Vial. To do our stuff basically. This might be a concession Clique even, because like they're pretty far behind on board. And, like, they might just not want to show us, like, what other cards they have going on in their deck and their hand specifically. Ever be open to playing Arena in Hearthstone? No, I don't really enjoy playing Limited. There's a reason why I don't play Limited in Hex and Magic. The thing that I find most interesting in card games is building decks and working on constructed decks, and Limited just doesn't scratch that itch for me. I thought this was Modern for a solid minute. That's fair. Aside from like this Hymn to Torok and this Deathrite Shaman, these are all Modern legal cards. Oh yeah, I guess there's dual lands here. We have dual lands in Modern. They're just like slightly worse dual lands, right? They're not quite as nice. I think this is either my cat knocked my drink over tank, or this is can I win this game? Should I show them my hand tank? I'm trying to imagine like what their hand could be if they wouldn't concede here. Yeah, it kind of would have been sweet too. It was kind of funny in a way that like they finally banned Twin that didn't actually have that oppressive of numbers, and then like they printed something that was far more offensive into the format. What we got going on, opponent? Come on. Oh, the weights. Oh, the weights. Everyone's having a good Wednesday night. Howdy. This is our one Magic Google After Dark stream per week. You find me online on Twitch every morning. Yeah, this is a concession click. Concession click. It does not. So you either have to use your customer loyalty or my code. So if your loyalty is more than 5%, you'll want to use that one, obviously. Yeah, I don't think I want to change how I sideboarded. I think I'm pretty content. I think even with them boarding into a more fair game plan. I guess maybe this Pridemage is good. Teeg's probably pretty bad against what they're doing. And Pridemage I can fetch him up to kill, Actually, I'm going to bring this Reclamation Sage too. I think there should be a ban in Legacy. I think so. I think the format's not only... I think the format's not only... It's not about the format just being stale, because it is stale. It's about just, like, the heavy concentration of all the good cards that can all be played together in single decks is, like, at a critical mass right now, and I really wish they'd break that up. This hand's probably fine. Leovold's probably pretty good against their fair game plan, and we've got Faerie Macabre in case they're on a fast reanimate game plan. I have a Thoughtseize. God bless. Was kind of hoping for a duress. They duressed and whiffed last game. It'll be interesting to see if they take the Macabre or not. That'll kind of indicate whether or not they've boarded off of their Reanimator game plan or not. Yep. God, was that a good draw? See, this is for those of you that are taking notes at home and want to someday be a professional Magic player. Leaving the good card on top of your deck so they can't Thoughtseize it, it's key. It's pretty important. Lets you play around a lot of stuff. Ratchet Bomb, sure. Leovold's a pretty obnoxious Magic card. So this needs to make black or green. This makes black, this makes blue. Let me put my advisor into play. Like I said, it has to be big fish. Oh, Reddit. Oh, Reddit. To be fair, I'm probably like one of like, I don't know, half a dozen people that can actually call themselves a professional Magic player. Playing Magic is actually my job. Whereas, like, you know, a lot of people who call themselves professional Magic players, they have other jobs or don't derive any meaningful amount of income from Magic the Gathering. Yes, steal. Cantrip and then discard B. Resolves. Trigger. Resolves. Content creator, whatever you want to call it. But I mean, writing pays far less than streaming these days. Like, writing's a part-time job. Streaming is like, you know, my kids go to daycare now for a reason. Ah, yes. Legacy staple Scryb Ranger has entered our hand. God bless. Start with a brainstorm here. This is probably just a Scavenging Ooze turn, right? I'm going to hide this other Leovold for now. I guess I could put Fauna Shaman. Could put Fauna Shaman into play. Scavenging Ooze kills them pretty quickly, though. All I know is the 3 years I spent traveling to a bunch of Magic tournaments, I was, you know, lucky to make 15 grand in those years in a calendar year, and most of that money was basically used up on travel costs. Like, you didn't actually net any actual profit. You just, like, spent what you made effectively, which was fine. Like, it wasn't my goal traveling to play Magic wasn't to have it be a job. I was traveling because I enjoyed doing it. I know you're one of the few who can make this a full-time job, but would you consider streaming a good secondary source of income? I have a full-time job, but working with children / high schoolers all days kills me. I think the most successful people that stream probably have a story similar to myself personally. I don't know anybody that streams full-time currently that started doing it with the intention of having it become a job. Like, I streamed for a long time, and it's something you should do because you enjoy doing it, and then if it ends up making money, that's like an added bonus. You know, it's just like when I was traveling to play a bunch of Magic, right? Like, my goal when traveling to play Magic wasn't to make money. It was to, like, enjoy myself and, like, play a bunch of Magic and travel around the country and, like, have a good time. Whereas, just like streaming, that was my goal. My goal was I was going to play some video games anyways. I might as well fire up the stream and bullshit with some people in Twitch chat while we play. So, and then, you know, it kind of snowballed in the last 6 months, and now it can be a job for the time being because it's actually making some money. But, like, that was never my goal. Like, right? Like, I didn't create my Twitch channel and, like, fire up OBS and go, in 12 months I'm going to do this as a job. That was never what I expected it to be. This is Legacy. I know looking at the cards in our hand it can be kind of hard to tell at a glance, but this is in fact Legacy and not competitive 1v1 Commander. I think this is a keep. I don't know what our range of keepable hands looks like here, but this definitely feels like it's in there. Opponent reveals Chancellor of the Annex. So this is Red-Black Reanimator. So I assume we're dead. We have like 2 anti-graveyard cards in our sideboard, which is almost certainly not enough. I feel like this deck's probably just more cute than good. On paper, it really looks like it doesn't have the tools to keep up with the faster combo decks in the format, and this doesn't have the long game grind to keep up with the really good control and fair decks in the formats. Like, we got dumpstered by 4-color control in the first match of this league. We're 1-1 here. No, the MTG bot record is horseshit. We're 1-1. We lost to 4-color control. We just beat that mono black deck. God, it's so humid out. I might close all my windows and turn my air back on. It feels kind of bad. It's very sticky. Yeah, while my opponent, are they Cabal Therapying targeting me? That's an interesting card in Red-Black Reanimator. Yeah, I'm just gonna let them do their thing. I'm gonna auto pass here and I'm gonna run in, close my windows, and turn my air back on. I was supposed to get cooler tonight, but it's so humid, it's awful. Alright, and they only been a Chancellor here, so that's pretty good for us. I guess we just brainstorm here, because we can pay 1 for it. Sorry about the short delay. I assume they're going to put an idiot into play here. Yep. This Atraxis is actually going to be pretty good here, right? So pretty sure we want to hide her. Because she's going to be able to, if we can get to 5 mana, she's going to be able to brawl with their thing. Oh, we did get some bits while I was off. I did, thank you. Where's the message? You must have sent them right as I walked away. Jeff, keep up the great content. Would I be able to whisper you a deck list to get your thoughts on it? Yeah, definitely. Feel free to whisper me here or direct message me on Twitter. Thanks for the support. I appreciate it. Sorry, I missed it while I walked away. What are we doing here? We're definitely hiding this. I think I'm going to hide this plus a land. And then we'll shuffle the land away. It was actually a lot cooler today than it has been for most of this week where I'm at. It's, alright, this is gonna be a Gristlebrand and then we're dead. I'm pretty sure we just die. This is one of those deck lists that, like, ran hot or hit some good matchups in a Legacy tournament somebody thought was really sweet, and it is really sweet, but unfortunately, it's probably not very competitive. We've got some hate bears in our sideboard and like a couple of Faerie Macabres here, but like by and large, these tools are just like far too slow against these fast combo decks that are just efficient and brutal. Alright, let's give that a try. This deck top 8'd some kind of small tournament overseas. Hopefully Vintage is a little bit more successful than this one this evening. This top 8 at an 8-man tournament, right? I just play the decks that are in the queue. I believe we have Belcher coming up at some point, but we're probably not going to get to it tonight. Usually we do about 3 decks in an evening. Yeah, I played Blue-Black Reanimator for a couple of tournaments. I punted my way out of an invitational top 8 with that deck. Came very, very close and then messed it up. I would like to play first. Yep. I mean, I've got an Aether Vial and a Gilded Drake. What more could a boy ask for? Bottom that for the time being, I think. Am I dead? Yep. Yep. Reanimate's actually very good for us here because it means I can only draw 7 once. Yeah, let's put Veteran Explorer in my deck. That's gonna go over really well. That sounds... this is match 3. I'd be kind of surprised if we make it to 5 though, if I'm being honest. Alright, just pay attention to the road, Breeden. Alright, that's alright. That's good stuff. We had a chance. We didn't. We died. I'm not even gonna play the last one with this deck. This deck is pretty rancid. We won 1, but we won it against a deck that was kind of medium and had bad draws at that. Yeah, like I think my assessment earlier was fairly accurate. Like, this deck doesn't have, like, you can't be waiting to interact till turn 2 in Legacy. Like, you just can't. You need Force of Will, you need Thoughtseize, you need some kind of discard spell, or you need some kind of fast degenerate combo. Like, you need efficient interaction, or you need efficient disruption. And like, even decks like Death and Taxes that like mostly wait till turn 2 to interact, like, they have a lot of interaction on turn 2, and they have Wasteland, which is technically turn 1 interaction. What's going on, Ilium? Welcome to Live 1. Alright, we're gonna play some Vintage. Let's get some cards for this bad mama jammy here. Who doesn't like some Saheeli? Let's do it. Update Stream Decker here real quick. Go grab some cards from traders and be on our way. This is Saheeli Oath. How are we today? We're doing okay. First Legacy deck was kind of poopy, but that's okay.